let's talk about the distributed and the undistributed terms in categorical syllogism. Now, what does it actually mean? Simply put, when I say distributed, I am trying to explain the reference to the whole. So here we have three different kinds of cats, but I do not name a specific cat. I simply say cats, and that gives a reference to all of those, and this is distributed. That means any cat, whether it is short, tall, long, thin, fat, all of those cats would be part of this group, which is cat, and this is a distributed term. What do we mean by undistributed then? Undistributed, again I have brought the cats here, but what is the difference? Now I don't want all these cats. I'm just annoyed with it. I just want a single cat, which is a black cat. So what I do is I remove all other cats and have a specific cat, and that shows an undistributed term. That means I'm referring only to a part or a class of the whole group that is there, and that is simply the black cats. So if there are 100 cats, I'll pick just 5 of those which are black, and therefore it is undistributed. It is not distributed. It's not applied to whole. Now, as we have seen in square of opposition, we have A, E, I and O, the very basics that we repeat every time, but the concept here is very interesting. This square of opposition diagram, if I cut it across horizontally towards the north or towards the upside, I have all the universals, and towards the bottom I have the particulars. So what does it mean? The top side would have all and no, and the bottom you would have some and some not. So this is when I cut it horizontally. Now what I do is I cut it vertically. When I cut it vertically, on the left side I have the positive ones, and on the right side I have the negative terms. This is no and some not, and this is all and some. So all and some become the positive, no and some not become the negative. So this is a very basic thing that you need to remember in square of opposition. Now here, what is the interesting concept is all the universals and the negative ones are distributed, and that's universally true. We'll understand this with the example case by case in the upcoming sections. The next is whenever you have a particular and a positive case, it is undistributed. Now, how does it actually happen? This is something that you can simply memorize. Now, you have the cases of A, which is all, E, which is no, I, which is some, and O, which is some not. So, let's understand each of these propositions one by one. The very first proposition I take is a proposition of A, which is all horses are four-legged animals. So, here I have a group of animals that are there, and I say all horses are four-legged. What does this mean? This means this horse is what? Horse is distributed. Even if there is one single horse, it would be part of the four-legged animals, and even if all the horses are there, they would be part of this four-legged animals. So this horse term here becomes a distributed term. Okay. The next term is four-legged animals, and four-legged animals would include all other animals besides horses. So there could be cows, cats, dogs, and any other animals that are there. So these four-legged animals are undistributed. Okay, so in this example we say that horse is distributed, but the four-legged animals is undistributed. Now four-legged animals is what? Four-legged animals is the predicate. So here you have the predicate, which is undistributed, and horses, which is the subject, is distributed. So when you have, I go back to the first slide where you have the A logic, and this A says that the subject is distributed and the predicate is undistributed. So that is what we have understood in a while. The next statement is the case of E, where I have no statements. Now, no, when I say no cats are dog, what does this mean? Dogs are in a specific circle, they are separate, and cats are specific. Now, cats cannot be dog. There can be not a single cat that can be dog. And I can also put this statement vice versa. There cannot be a single dog that can be cat. So if I say no cats are dogs or no dogs are cats, both of those would become the true statements. But in my first statement, cats is the subject, and this subject is what? The subject is distributed because it's applicable to each and every cat that is present in the system here. And the next term, which is the predicate, is what? Dogs. And dogs is again distributed here. How? Because there cannot be a single dog that can be a cat. So both of them are mutually exclusive, but all of those would belong to a certain group that would be there, and therefore both cats and dogs are distributed in this scenario. Despite the fact that it is negative, it is distributed. The next statement says the I scenario, where I say some men are wealthy. Now in this scenario, I have the subject, which is what? Which is men. Now some of the men I have said are wealthy, so some men go here, but there could be women. Okay, so I am just taking men as a case. Again, there could be some men who are not wealthy. So men here becomes what? Men is undistributed. There are only few about which I know. For the others, I do not know anything. And the same goes with wealthy. Some of them could be wealthy, the others could not be wealthy. So both the terms here are undistributed. So in the case of I preposition, both the subject and predicate is undistributed. In the case of E preposition, both the subject and the predicate were distributed. Very, very important to know. So in this scenario, I repeat again, both subject and predicate are undistributed, and consequently I can convert this preposition simply to a converse of it. That is what? When I say some men are wealthy, I can say some wealthy are men, and that would be undistributed in this scenario also. So it would be undistributed in both the scenarios. So either scenario 1 or scenario 2, there would be undistributed. There would be some men who would be wealthy or some wealthy who would be men, and vice versa. Okay. The next one is very interesting. This is the last case of O. Now O preposition, which says some not. A, E, I and O in the square of opposition. O says some not. So my statement here says some men are not happy. So here is a group of people who are happy, but out of those, some people are not happy. Now when you have some men who are not happy, what happens is, men here becomes what? Men is the subject here, and the men is undistributed because some of the men are not happy. But when it comes to happy, this happy is distributed. It is equally applicable to all. Now how do you understand it? You know, you have to know the sum total of the happy people. Okay, to assert that some of the men who do not belong are not found anywhere in the class of happy people. So all those who are not happy would go away. So all those who remain would be happy. And therefore, this is what? This is distributed. And therefore, it is very, very important to understand that in a preposition of O, when it is some not, you have the subject that is undistributed and the predicate here becomes distributed. I repeat again how the men are undistributed because some of them are happy, some are not. But when it comes to happy, since all the unhappy people have gone away, what remains in the category of happy would be happy only, and that means all those are in that category are happy, and therefore it is distributed. All of those belonging to that group are having a common character, and all of them have a common way, and therefore they are distributed. So this was a very interesting understanding of the distributed and the undistributed terms in your A, E, I and O prepositions in square of opposition. A very interesting interesting concept and a very common doubt that most of the students have. We would be coming up with many more interesting lectures on logic and syllogism. Don't miss those.